going on, everybody? Welcome to the Vikings Now by Chat Sports. My name is Patrick Siepman, and we got a big-time show for you guys as the Vikings got the news they were exactly hoping for, as J.J. McCarthy is getting a ton of praise from his teammates, and specifically Harrison Phillips. And this is what HP had to say. I've commented before about how he came to me the week after his injury to try to learn more about the defense, asking those great questions. He's really stepped up in the personal power role this year. In the locker room, I'm constantly seeing him go up to new guys, to new players, dapping each other up, sitting on the couches, and just having conversation. Where last year was off to rehab, off to meetings, he understands that we have to build a family here and that you can't have unique results without unique relationships. And then, man, he's got some confidence, and he reminds me of Josh Allen when I was with him in Buffalo, coming into his own and understanding the power that he has to lead this organization, and he's doing a fantastic job doing that. And I always think it is a huge indicator in terms of just like projecting players heading into the season. Players know better than the media. Like, even all the Vikings beat guys that are at OTAs and they're watching practices and they're actually there, they can get somewhat of a feel for, who J.J. McCarthy is. They see how he is out there on the practice field, but hearing like a guy like Harrison Phillips, who is a veteran, who has bounced around the league with the Bills and the Vikings, him showing them all types of love, I think it's big-time news. And plus, I love the fact that JJ clearly understands, if we want to be a unique team and we want to be a special team, we have to go build these special relationships. So I love that part of him. Clearly has an understanding of that, because being a quarterback in the NFL and especially being a face of the franchise, it's not only what you do on the field. It's also what you do off the field, how you carry yourself, how your teammates view you, because, you'll be in a situation this time in the year where you're down 24-20, 2:30 left in the fourth quarter, and when those other 10 guys in the huddle, when they look at McCarthy and they just have confidence in him because they see all the hard work, they know who he is as a person, hopefully it ends up resulting in some wins. But I love that quote from Harrison Phillips there. And also the whole notion that the Vikings don't believe in J.J. McCarthy. Like, if that was true, they would have just signed Aaron Rodgers. Rodgers has made it, even though he hasn't publicly came out and said it, but, I'm pretty confident saying Rodgers would love to be the quarterback for the Minnesota Vikings. He has a great relationship with Kevin O'Connell. Rodgers is a very intelligent person. He sees the weapons. He sees the offensive line. He sees the other side of the field with Brian Flores. Clearly, if the Vikings wanted Rodgers, they would have gotten Rodgers. And also, Rodgers mentioned on the Pat McAfee show, he would have signed a deal for, $5 million. It has nothing to do with money. So if the Vikings had any concerns within that organization, why would they not just go sign Rodgers? Because it would just be a one-year run, and then JJ would still be able to take over in year 3 of his rookie deal. I just think just the ludicrousy of people putting reports out there that the Vikes don't believe in McCarthy. It's just that time of the offseason, man. But with the new Madden trailer coming out, I wanted to get you guys' thoughts on this. What would your Madden rating be for J.J. McCarthy? Scale it for me 1 through 99 down below in the comment section. I will say, if you guys haven't seen the Madden trailer, the Vikings were the show for the first 20 seconds of it. They had them running out of the tunnel. They had the dragon spit in the fire, but it was also hilarious. They panned to a still shot. It was from years of NFL data. And then the first Vikings player you see is Dalton Risner. Dalton Risner's not on the Vikings right now. He's a free agent. I just thought that was pretty funny. But, give J.J. McCarthy a Madden rating down below in the comment section. We got more praise coming in from teammates here on McCarthy. Justin Jefferson after practice recently said he definitely has an arm. That's for sure. He can definitely zip it when he has to. And even just seeing some of these clips that are going viral on social media right now, he throws a legitimate perfect spiral. It comes out of his arm so fast. He's also doing this thing with his back foot. A little Scotty Scheffler for all the golf heads out there. He kind of swings his back foot behind him. Definitely gets more velocity on that football, but you can clearly see, he is not just an arm thrower. He is a full body thrower, and his technique is perfect, and it doesn't shock me that these players are blown away by how fast he throws the football. But also TJ Hawkinson, who played with Matthew Stafford, one of the best arms in NFL history, said this on McCarthy. I remember catching passes from Matthew Stafford. It zips on you. Looks like it's not coming, but it's coming. JJ has that juice behind it where it kind of has that effect. And, really thinking about J.J. McCarthy just as a player, He doesn't really have a weakness in his game. I think he's a good enough athlete where he will be a problem outside of the pocket. He has great backyard football skills where, when the play breaks down and you got to kind of just improvise on the run. He is fantastic at that part of the game. He was a great quarterback in 3rd and 7 plus situations at Michigan. He's got a hell of an arm, and then that's all on the field stuff. And then off the field, he checks every box. He's a great leader. He's a sicko about football. There's really no glaring weakness with his game. Even him being a great processor, he's been a winner at every single stage of football he has ever played. There is no weakness in J.J. McCarthy's game. But also, Justin Jefferson had this to say on just talking about his quarterbacks, and I thought the confidence here from Jefferson was awesome. He just says, just throw it up anywhere, and I'm going to go get it. Yeah, Jefferson, that is probably the most obvious statement you have ever made being on the Minnesota Vikings. Like, yeah, he is that special. And, I cannot wait as JJ is obviously, I'm talking about McCarthy. He is great at attacking the middle of the field. And, if you guys, we talked about this so much on the show last year, Jefferson just running those deep in-breaking routes at like that 20-yard mark. Normally, I remember Kevin O'Connor was talking about it. He was saying normally you like to break those off at 17, but with how long of strides Jefferson takes, he just naturally breaks it off at 20, and he has those big-time plays over the middle of the field. I can't wait to see that connection grow because he had that with Sam Darnold, who in his career he was an okay thrower over the middle of the field, but JJ, that's his bread and butter. I mean, you go look at the tape from his time in Michigan. It was like Colston Loveland, Roman Wilson over the middle of the field consistently. So, and even if it has to be a 50-50 ball down the right or left sideline, just throw it up there, and number 18 is going to get it. But speaking about J.J. McCarthy, if you guys are a believer in him and you guys want to show him some support on today's show, as nobody else will besides Vikings fans, go down there, hit that thumbs up icon, show J.J. McCarthy some love. Cannot wait for the season. I have trouble sleeping at night with how excited I am for this year. I truly cannot wait. So if you guys want to show J.J. McCarthy some love down below, hit that thumbs up icon. Cannot wait to see him Monday Night Football taking on the Chicago Bears and Caleb Williams. So if you guys want to show him some love, hit that thumbs up button. All right, so ESPN, they want Kirk Cousins to return to Minnesota. Can't believe we're talking about this, but it's June. It's June. So coming up here, we'll talk about that trade idea coming in from Dan Graziano. But before we do so, I got to give a massive shout out to today's presenting sponsor, and that is Factor Meals. Now, if you guys get started at factormeals.com/VikingsChat50off and use code VikingsChat50off, we'll hook you guys up with 50% off plus free shipping on your first box. Now, summer is here, which means more sun, more light, and more time to do all the things that make summer so special. And the number one thing you don't want to be doing all summer, spending hours cooking inside. That's where Factor comes in. Factor's chef-crafted, dietitian-approved meals are ready in just 2 minutes, taking the hassle out of eating well. And Factor meals arrive fresh and ready to eat, perfect for any active lifestyle over summer and beyond. They also have 45 weekly menu options. You can pick gourmet meals that fit your summer gains and goals. Choose from options like Calorie Smart, Protein Plus, Keto, and more. And here, having a very active, busy lifestyle, working at Chat Sports, I don't always feel like making a home-cooked meal when I get off work, and that's where Factors came in, and it's completely changed my life. You guys will love it. I love it. So give them a chance and get started at factormeals.com/VikingsChat50off and use code VikingsChat50off to get 50% off plus free shipping on your first box. That's code VikingsChat50off at factormeals.com/VikingsChat50off for 50% off plus free shipping. Hit that link, factormeals.com/VikingsChat50off. So the blockbuster trade idea coming in from the smart minds at ESPN. We're around Kirk Cousins returning to Minnesota. And in this hypothetical, they had the Vikings trading away a 5th-round pick, a 7th-round pick, and cash consideration. This makes no sense. And we'll explain why here in a second. Let's first see what Dan Graziano had to say. Why this deal makes sense for both sides. Well, it makes sense for all three sides, really, counting Cousins himself. He wants a chance to start and could use his no-trade clause to nix a deal to any place he doesn't want to go. But if he has to be a backup, we know he liked living in Minnesota and playing for the Vikings. Plus, love this part, J.J. McCarthy is still an unknown after his major knee injury, so maybe this could turn into more than just a QB2 destination. In this scenario, the Vikings would agree to pay $10 million of the guaranteed money on Cousins' contract for 2025. Absolutely not. I understand Graziano's thought process. Like, I'm not saying this is a ludicrous thing to throw out there, but I just find it hard to believe that the Vikings would have any interest in this. And I just don't think this makes sense for the Vikings. Like, yes, if we didn't have Sam Howell and we just had Brett Rippon, I would probably be making videos up here on the show saying, yeah, we need to go get Kirk Cousins because you need that premium backup. Because, yes, J.J. McCarthy, even though it drives me crazy, I feel like people have been copy and pasting what Graziano said there on the second half of, McCarthy still an unknown coming off the knee injury. People have been copy and pasting that and just putting on every article about the Vikings this whole offseason. But I just don't think it makes sense. Like I was saying, if they had a need at the backup quarterback position, Kirk Cousins would probably be my number one choice as a backup. He knows the culture. He knows the system. And Kevin O'Connell has that relationship already with Jefferson, Addison, and Hockenson. Like, if they didn't already trade for Sam Howell, yes, I would be down. But to say the Vikings should give up a fifth, a seventh, and cash, that doesn't make sense. Now, yes, you would only be taking on $10 million of that salary, which, it's not the biggest deal in the world to pay that for a backup quarterback. But I just don't think it, makes really too much sense for the Vikes. I love Kirk Cousins. Actually, one of my favorite players to ever root for in the National Football League. I was always hoping he would be the guy to, get the Vikings to the Super Bowl just to prove everybody wrong. And I thought it would be like a perfect marriage of a Super Bowl champ where it's like nobody ever thought the Vikings would win the Super Bowl. Nobody ever thought Kirk Cousins would win the Super Bowl. So I miss Kirk. It was a ton of fun, but I just don't think it makes sense for him to return to the Vikes. But what say you on this one? Maybe you disagree with me. Maybe you want him to be the backup quarterback for the Vikes next season. Would you trade for him? Give me a T for trade or give me a P for pass. Now, if you guys got any more hot takes, comments, questions about the Minnesota Vikings, hit me up on Twitter at Pat Siepman, the handle. See you guys next time. As always, SKOL Vikes.